Hey guys, this is 97 Lego Maniac with another custom minifigure showcase video. Today we're taking a look at 3 figures from the show, the Teen Titans, the original show, not the chibi crap we got today. We have Aqualad, we have Speedy, and Kid Flash. 3 figures. I honestly don't know why I made Kid Flash. Well, he was suggested, and he was pretty cool, even though he was only in 2 episodes. And Speedy and Aqualad, I mean, they're from the Titan Z's. I'm not making the rest of Titan Z's. No, I'm not making Mossy, Manos, or Bumblebee because I don't really care about those characters, so please stop asking. More custom minifigures are coming, like Constantine and Star Wars Force Awakens figure, but I'm not sure if I could finish these Star Wars Force Awakens figures on time before December 17th. So let's continue with the showcase video. The first minifigure we have is Kid Flash, and he was actually pretty difficult because this is the second time I actually had to sculpt his hair, because you know, with sculpting hair isn't really my thing, and I didn't really like how Robin turned out, and there's no exception with Kid Flash's hair, but you know, it actually turned out a lot better than I thought. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Flash in a way, and the lightning bolts were actually really cool. Those were made of the same materials for what I used for my other versions of Flash and Falcon's wings and his glider. You know, that sheet of plastic I showed you guys about, talked about. If you guys don't know what it looks like, check out my Arrow and Flash showcase video. And talk about his head. The eyes actually turned out really good. It's just I don't like how the flesh looks, because you know, flesh paint is just as difficult as white paint, and I hate it. And the circular parts on his head, those are actually sculpted with green stuff. His torso's all painted, legs all painted, and the bag's all painted. I even painted the sides because I just think sides are actually kind of a necessary thing to paint, because without it, it just looks disconnected. And thankfully the paint doesn't really scratch off that much. I just have to be very careful whenever I move it. So yeah, what I use for it is, you notice it's a little bit shinier. I use a gloss paint for this, and I rarely use gloss, but I just think it's kind of necessary, just so it's kind of, the red kind of sticks out and shines, and it actually looked turned out a lot better than I thought. The lightning bolt was a pain because, you know, it's kind of like, we gotta make sure it's proportional. And the legs are also painted with yellow, and you can see there are the black lines like painted all around. And that's basically it for Kid Flash, and we can just move on to the next minifig. Our next minifigure is Aqualad, and he turned out really cool. Just like my rest of the Teen Titans, it's usually the face that makes it, because just look at the face, you know it's definitely Aqualad, and he's really simple. I mean, it's a lot more simpler than Robin or Speedy, because the thing is, their mask has to be perfectly proportional for each side, but for Aqualad, it's basically just triangles. But of course you have to make the triangles symmetrical, but it's not that bad really. And he turned out really accurate, and he supports a Widow's Peak hairpiece with green stuff sculpted, and it's actually not that bad to like sculpt something like this. It's basically like sculpted it, painted with black gloss paint, and then just like use an X-Acto knife and cut off the remains to give a mullet look. And yeah, I painted his neck. And I basically went all out with the gloss paint to make sure it shines, because without because I need gloss paint in order for it to match with the legs, because it's not like it's 2 separate things. If I use normal black, it's not gonna look connected. So that's what I did. White is extremely painful to use. That's why if you look very closely, the white does look a little bit chunky, especially with the gloss paint. But you know, that's how it is. And the detail does continue both sides, and I really like how they turned out. And yeah, and the arms have details all over. Same with the legs all over. And I really like how these light blue marks turned out. They represent like some sort of a scale on, like they're like W's, and they represent like scales, because you know he's Atlantean. They should have some scales anyway on their uniform. And yeah, and he looks really awesome. That's basically on Aqualad. We can move on to the next minifigure. I forgot to mention, his hand is also painted in a blue color, but it's not gloss or anything. But I did put sealant over it because if you guys don't know, if you paint something on hands, it can easily get you can easily like scrape it off. So yeah, that's all it for Aqualad now. Now we move on to my favorite minifigure out of all the figures in this showcase video, and that is Speedy, because the paint work turned out a lot smoother because I did not use gloss, so therefore you do not see awkward chunks. And there's a lot to go with this figure. I want to say I want to credit Bill Boffel. He used this this quiver design on his green arrow, but I believe Bill Boffel he got this idea from someone else too. I forgot who that person is, but shout out to him also. And yeah, and that's basically I use basically Brickforged's arrow. I got like those, you know, those standard jetpacks we've seen on like Star Wars, those speeder bikes, and I basically cut off the neck brace area. I glued it to his back, and I glued the Brickforged arrows onto the back, onto the quiver here, and then just paint everything. And I painted the strap, and I made sure it continues in all sides because it just seems necessary, because without it, it just seems disconnected and weird. From now on, I'm gonna, whenever I feel like it's necessary, I'm gonna start painting the sides. I mean, I already did that with like Scarecrow. I'm not doing it with the Arkham Knight though. I started with Gordon, so, but it wasn't painted. That was actually with leftover Cape Mana stuff. He also has like a painted detail on the top here, which continues the strap on top of his shoulder, and his face is painted, and I used a Widow's Peak hairpiece. It's not the most accurate hairpiece. It's like a series of spikes, but this is the only closest thing, and I don't feel like sculpting the front because I did that before with General Zod. It did not turn out well. And his boots are painted yellow, just that, and I painted the pouches. I decided not to make it three-dimensional, or else it's not going to connect well with the figure. And this is a Brickforged longbow, and I tied a string to it. I painted it yellow, and this Brickforged arrow, what I did, it's actually a yellow arrow, but I cut off the tip, and what I did, if you guys remember this nozzle, I basically cut off the tip of that nozzle and I glued it onto the arrow here, because that's his arrow, because you know we can't have really sharp pointy things in a kid's show. And I painted the S on the arrowhead because that's his signature arrow. S stands for Speedy. I don't understand why in the comics he's called Speedy. I mean, why isn't Kid Flash Speedy? I rather prefer him calling him Speedy than Kid Flash. Kid Flash, it doesn't sound original. And why is he Speedy? Why is his name Speedy? Red Arrow, I get it, even though that too doesn't sound original, but at least it makes sense. In this case, he's Yellow Arrow. He also has a painted Speedy logo on his chest. That's actually my favorite thing I actually painted on this figure. It took a while, but I got it right. So that's it on all the Teen Titans figures, and we can conclude the showcase video. Say waffle again, one more time. I dare you. I double dare you. So that's all the figures, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this showcase video. If you do, leave a like and the thumbs down below. Follow me on all my social media sites, and be sure to stay tuned for more custom videos and hopefully some future Transformers once I figure out how I'm gonna pack for winter break and figure out the time when to do so. And yep, that's all in this video. I hope you guys enjoy these minifigures. I really do enjoy like painting the Teen Titans, and if I have time, I'll probably make some more. So yep, that's it. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.